What's going on, guys? I'm here with former British light welterweight champion Tony McKenzie. How are you, T?
Yeah, kicking ass, man, kicking ass.
All right, T. So Mayweather won Fighter of the Decade. Your thoughts? He won it with multiple different organizations. He won it with Barwa Boxing Writers, Association. He won it with WBN. BBC here in Britain gave it him. It seems like it was a fairly unanimous decision that Mayweather won Fighter of the Year. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's only true he deserves to be out. I mean, although he's been an inactive fighter for so long, but his previous fights, what you've seen is John Capel, the only unbeaten record he holds, and worthwhile. Yeah, he's claimed that fight of the decade by all means. I mean, last year Manny Pacquiao claimed it.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people thought he probably claimed it this year, but
yeah.
When you look back, Mayweather's a fighter. You can't dispute what he's done, although he's been inactive. Like I said, he's a well-deserved fighter to claim that title.
Do you think Canelo could have got it? Because Canelo's had 10 years of great wins, and his only loss came against Mayweather, and he had some great wins throughout the decade.
Yes, but he's not got the same caliber as Mayweather.
Yeah.
I mean, Canelo. I mean, with the drug testing and everything, goes against him. And people who vote for them. You want to see a fighter claim this sort of title on a clean record and fair due to what the game has, because. At the end of the day, when you're voting for these fighters, you're looking to see what they've done in their career, how they've established it, and maintaining it. And Mayweather can't knock an unbeaten record.
Yeah. What do you make of Mayweather-McGregor rematch? Do you think it's a farce? Do you want to see it again? What's your take on it?
Nah, I won't want to see that again. I mean, it was a farce. I mean, you can't put Mayweather's a boxer.
Yeah.
McGregor's, you put Mayweather in this sport, it would have been a different game.
Yeah.
But it's not a fight you want to see. Boxing is boxing. You can't judge the two on, will he do good against Mayweather? I mean, Mayweather just wiped it with him, really, you know what I mean?
All right, guys, that's done. We've done part one. Now we're going to do part two. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm here with T again. T, I want to ask you about some fights. Obviously, Kell Brook's fighting in February 19th. If he was to fight Keith Thurman, how do you see that one playing out?
Well, first of all, Kell Brook's been out a long time now. A lot of it is down to himself. I mean, jumping into someone like Thurman, it's unbelievable. I mean, because he's not a fighter who's been fighting on a regular basis anyway. You know what I mean? So, and I don't see him in the likes of Thurman. Thurman is a good, former world champion. You know what I mean? So he's been with Pacquiao, Garcia. I mean, I like Thurman. He's a great fighter, and there's more to see from him. So up in the higher weights.
Do you think Thurman looks quite vulnerable in his fights? Kell Brook's quite tough. He takes a good punch. Thurman has shown weakness, like when he gets hit to the body. It looks like he's got a bit of vulnerability there. Punch resistance is an issue. Do you think Kell Brook, being a big welterweight, could exploit that?
No. Thurman, I mean, the punches he's taken are from quality fighters. The top main fighters. I mean. You see what Errol Spence done to
Kell Brook,
and Thurman, I think he'd walk him down.
Yeah, probably.
The size of him and his caliber of punches. He's not a great consistent puncher, but he hurts with the punches what he throws at a higher weight.
So, what's your prediction if that fight was to go down? What do you think would happen?
Well, I would Thurman by all means.
By knockout?
it could, yeah, there's a possibility he could stop Kell Brook. I mean,
Yeah.
Kell Brook is known for his injury. I mean, the ice hockey when he went up the weight to fight Triple G. I mean, you know, the way to the punch is told, and even against Spence, you know, it was a bit distance with Spence. So I think Thurman would be a great aggressor against Kell Brook.
All right, guys, the end of part 2. Now we'll see you in part 3. Okay, here with T again. T, so let's talk about Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao. There's been a lot of talk about this fight. Do you think it should be left alone and Conor should concentrate on MMA and look for a rematch against Khabib rather than looking for a rematch with Mayweather or a fight with Pacquiao? Do you think he's just out of his depth and there's just no point?
You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, that Conor McGregor, stick to what he knows best. Boxing is for the boxers. I mean, these guys, Pacquiao, they live and breathe boxing. You know, you put Pacquiao in the MMA, Conor would ride that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
yeah.
He should leave this. Obviously, this is a big money fight. He made a lot of money fighting Mayweather. We all see what happened there. But, and the same thing would happen again when if he fights Pacquiao. So McGregor, just stick to what he does. I mean, all this jumping into different sports of fashion is not very good for boxing. You've got many fighters out there who should be learning, who give Pacquiao a great fight, you know, as a qualified boxer. And he's not looking good against them, you know. McGregor, you know, he's not a boxer, simple as that.
But the thing is, T, the funny thing is, McGregor's not the one that's chasing these guys. Of course, he'd want these big money fights, but Manny Pacquiao called out McGregor. Mayweather called out McGregor after his fight on the weekend. Yes. So they want that fight. Those guys want that fight with McGregor.
They want that fight. Well, going watching that fight earlier in his career, then fight would have been called for. They wouldn't mentioned. Now, you see Pacquiao and Mayweather, at the end of the careers. You know, if you can make, you know, 20, 40 million there, you're gonna go for it. So I mean, at the end of the day, that's only a money fight. It's not a fight, you know, people are calling for. You know, at the end of the day, you get what you get. But I mean, boxing should leave to the boxers, and MMA should leave to the fighters. You know what I mean? Simple as that.
All right, thank you, T. That's end of part 3. Last one coming up. All right, okay, we're here with T again. T, let's talk about Kell Brook and Errol Spence rematch. Obviously, Kell Brook's fighting, like I said, February. He wins that. He's looking for big fights. He obviously wants the Amir Khan fight, which we all know. But he's talking about Errol Spence. He's saying that I can beat Errol Spence. He goes, it took a lot out of me coming from 160 back down to 147 against when I fought Golovkin. He goes, now I feel like I've got my weight in check and I want to come back down to 147 and I feel like I can defeat Errol Spence. Do you agree with him or no?
I don't particularly agree with him saying that because 147, you know, being out of the ring so much, he puts on so much weight.
Yeah.
So you basically got, you know, take off a stone, 2 stone to get back to your official weight, what you normally box out. Now, Errol Spence, you know, is coming home from that car crash which ended his life. It's another thing, but put that aside. I mean, Errol Spence will still beat Kell Brook. Kell Brook is, you know, he's not even going to have the warm-up fight with it. You know, someone in the top 10 or something, you know, rated up there in the fight. He wants to really stick himself out and come straight into the big fight with Errol Spence. I don't think he can match Errol Spence, you know, regardless what he's got on his sleeve.
If Kell Brook didn't fight Gennady Golovkin, right? Obviously, that Gennady Golovkin, Kell Brook went into that fight undefeated. He had a lot of confidence, and he took that fight against Golovkin, which most of us knew he couldn't really win. Let's be real. It was against a middleweight. It was against Golovkin. He was a monster at that point. He was never going to win that fight. So that was obviously a massive mistake. But if Kell Brook had fought Errol Spence instead of fighting Golovkin at that point, who would you have favored at that point? Do you think that Kell Brook coming into a fight against Errol Spence undefeated at his natural weight, being a big welterweight, being a good fighter. He was considered number 1, number 2, top 3 welterweight at that time. And some people thought he was the best welterweight at that time. So do you think at that time, if he had fought Errol Spence, do you think he would have beaten Errol Spence, or do you think Errol Spence is just a better fighter?
I think Errol Spence is a completely different fighter altogether. I mean, he was a young guy coming up as well. You know, he had some good wins, and you know, it was his time. So, you know, the title was not on the line, but I mean, Cowboy never produced when he did fight.
He's at home as well. He was in his backyard in Sheffield. Yeah.
And you know, Errol Spence just took it straight to him and just dished out, really, well, some kind of punishment on Brook. I mean, Brook, in the end, he had to be pulled out from the fight. So
his eye socket.
His eye socket took battering, which played a big part when he fought Triple G.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, I mean, these guys are always looking for big fights. I mean, no one's heard of Brook for a long time since, you know, back in his day when he was champion.
Yeah,
he was a top dog. But now he wants to get back, and he's pulling out these big names, you know, Spence, Thurman. But these guys will just swallow him up.
Yeah. So again, less scores on the doors. Prediction. What would you say, Errol Spence stoppage? Because he did stop Kell Brook the first time. Do you think he'd stop him again?
I think he's capable of stopping him again.
Yeah.
By all means.
All right, T. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your thoughts on different issues and different topics in boxing. We'll hopefully see you soon.
No problem. Peace.
Guys, what's going on? I think someone needs to wake me up because the boxing world has gone mad. The Hall of Famer promoter Bob Arum has come out and said that he wants Terence Crawford to fight Conor McGregor in an MMA fight. He said he wants 2 fights. He wants one in boxing rules and one in an MMA fight. Now, I don't know whether Bob Arum's lost his head. I don't know whether Bob Arum's off the wall. But there's something seriously wrong with Bob Arum. Like, why would you want your star man, one of your star fighters, to fight in an MMA fight? He says Terence Crawford has a wrestling background, so I would be happy for him to fight Conor McGregor in MMA rules. Like, firstly, it's a farce because Crawford would beat McGregor easy in a boxing ring, but McGregor could destroy Crawford inside an octagon. Like, he could get hurt. It's not just about wrestling. It don't matter if about Crawford has a wrestling background. Does he know how to defend against kicks? Has he not seen how vicious Conor McGregor's kicks are? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Just because Terence Crawford has a wrestling background and he's had a bit of MMA experience, that doesn't mean that he's any good and he can compete against top level fighters like Conor McGregor. He stands no chance whatsoever because he has a wrestling background. There's other things in mixed martial arts like kicking, you know, and you can be knocked out clean cold with a kick. I'm not a big UFC fan. I'm not huge. I know a lot about UFC and mixed martial arts. But one thing I know is that there's no way Terence Crawford has any chance against Conor McGregor. I don't care what kind of experience he has in the mixed martial arts. He has no chance whatsoever. He has a great chance of getting hurt. And for Bob Arum, for somebody like Bob Arum to come out and endorse it and say that I would be willing to put my star man in there with Conor McGregor in an MMA arena, the fact that this guy's your star man at his peak is off the wall. Now, whether Bob Arum is just saying it just for publicity, or I don't know whether he actually means it. I don't know. But if he does mean it, there's something really, really wrong with him, because there's no way Terence Crawford can compete against Conor McGregor inside an octagon. It just can't. I just think boxing's become a bit of a farce where a lot of these guys want to fight in different sports. I don't know. Why don't you just stick to your own sport, what you're good at? I understand Terence Crawford can't get big fights, but that doesn't mean you look to manufacture a fight in a fight that he can't win. But not just the fact that he can't win, he's going to get hurt. McGregor, like, he has zero chance of beating Conor McGregor inside an octagon, just like McGregor has zero chance of beating him in a boxing ring. But I actually think McGregor won't get badly hurt in a boxing ring. I think Crawford could get badly hurt inside an octagon. I think he could get damaged. You know what I mean? Like, when you flying kick at your face, that's no joke. Yeah, I'm just shocked. I think people have gone mad. I think people just want big fights so badly. They don't care if it's a joke or circus act. You know, actually, I think the fans are getting quite frustrated, and the fans are not happy. I've seen a lot of your comments. You guys are a lot frustrated with all these circus shows. You want to see competitive fights. And actually, I think if the fights were to get made, I think you guys would watch it, but I just don't think there's a positive vibe around these events anymore. I just think that people think, especially the hardcores, are thinking that this boxing's becoming a bit of a joke. Like, we've had KSI Logan Paul. Yeah, it's all right. It's good for numbers. Yeah, for people like me, YouTube channels, it's good for us. We get a lot of views. But the hardcores that want to see proper boxing fights are not enjoying these matchups because they know who's going to win. And the whole point of sport is to see competitive competition, competitive sport. And when there's a novice fighting a guy that's elite at that particular sport, you know the result. So what's competitive about it? It's not competitive. So leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Bob Arum thinks that Terence Crawford can beat Conor McGregor in an MMA fight because he has a wrestling background. Do you agree? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.